All right, and this one we're just tying it all together. We'll be combining we'll be factoring once or twice. So you'll be told the factor, and here's your first example. It's 2x squared plus 10x plus 12. So, excuse me. First, let's see if there's a greatest common factor. Break down 2x squared. It's 2. X and x. 10 is broken down to 2 times 5 and an x. And 12 is broken down to 2 times 2 times 3. At this point, I think you could probably do that pretty quickly, but if you're unsure what goes into those, just make the cake. 2 goes into 12 6 times, 2 goes into 6 3 times, and 3 goes into 3 once. That's what I was doing there. So once you have that, excuse me, let's make this a little smaller. Tuck it over there. What do they have in common? This one just has a 2 in common. All right, so my 2 is going to be my greatest common factor, and everything else will be on the inside of the parentheses. I have an x squared left over, a plus, a 5x, a plus, and a 6. So that was about 2 weeks ago we did that, and at that point you'd be done. But you're not done with this problem yet. You still have to factor the x squared plus 5x plus 6. So hold on to this 2. All right, let me get all this stuff here. Group that, make it smaller so I can keep working. Wow, I did not mean for that to happen. That's kind of weird. Let's try that. Let's group this thing. Okay, so now we're going to factor this. The x squared plus 5x plus 6. I factored out the 2, and I'm going to use that 2 later on. All right, x squared plus 5x. I'm going to change colors now. X squared plus 5x plus 6. I think I can factor it, but I'm not sure, so I'm going to try. Label my 3 parts, A, B, and C. Step number 1 is to multiply A and C. 1 times 6 is 6. Step number 2 is to list all the factors of 6. Luckily, there's only 2 of them, 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. Step number 3 is to figure out which of those 2 will also add up to 5. Let me try this out. I know that 2 times 3 equals 6. That would meet that requirement. And I also have just figured out that 2 plus 3 equals 5, and that would meet that criteria. So I'm going to use 2 and 3. Step number 4, excuse me, make my fraction. The value of a over of number 3, and the value of a over negative 3. I'm sorry, number 3. A is 1. The first value of number 3 is 2. A is 1, we said. And the value of the second number 3 is 3. That's number 4. And step number 5, which we're running out of room for, is just putting it all together. 1x plus 2 and 1x plus 3. The one thing we have to remember is that we have to remember to bring this 2 over that we factored out in the beginning back to this problem. So we say our answer is 2 parentheses 1x plus 2 parentheses 1x plus 3. We think that's our answer for us to factor 2x squared plus 10x plus 12. And you check it just like all the other ones by graphing it. Okay, what I did is I put both the equation, the original problem, the 2x squared plus 10x plus 12, and my answer, 2 parentheses, 1x plus 2, parentheses 1x plus 3 into the calculator, and we'll see if they graph correctly. There's one. It says syntax error. That means if it says syntax error in your calculator, that means you made a mistake somewhere. So that means I put something wrong on the calculator. I actually did that on purpose to show you, not to quit and throw the calculator up. The first one looks like I put in correctly, 2x squared plus 10x plus 12. But the second one, if you take a look here, it says 2 parentheses, 1x plus 2. And then the other parentheses, it says 1x plus plus 3. So I have too many pluses in that. A syntax error means the calculator can't do it because it doesn't know how to do a plus plus. So we get rid of one of the pluses, And now we'll see if we can graph it. There's my first quadratic and only one quadratic. All right, so because there's two equations, there are clearly two equations, and there's clearly one quadratic, that means I factored it correctly.